Okay, so today we're shooting with the Voigtlander Heliar 75 1.8 for Sony. This is the portrait lens that has this very unique feature up front, which I'll explain in the video while we're doing the shoot. Um, Absolutely a stunning lens, as pretty much all Voigtlander lenses are. So let's get into the shoot and talk about this lens a little.
For those of you who love character lenses, this lens may be a dream come true for you. This is the Voigtlander 75mm f1.8 Portrait Heliar lens. It has this aspherical portrait control ring in the front of it that allows you to dial in the amount of character you like or you want. That's pretty unique. Now, this isn't a first off, I don't believe. I believe the Canon RF 100 SA had this type of effect, and I had that lens. I don't think I gave it a fair shake because I pretty much used it only in studio. Now, when I got this one, Voigtlander sent this to me. Well, actually, CameraQuest sent this to me, and I really appreciate that. I have to send it back. It's not mine. I don't make any money on this front end or back end whatsoever. I have no links for it. I have no um, affiliate thing. It's just my opinion on this lens. And Stephen over at CameraQuest, if you ever want a Voigtlander lens, buy it from him. I promise you, his customer service and everything is spectacular. But anyway, getting back to this, I want to show you what this lens can do in an environment versus in a studio, because that's where this lens is going to shine. Now, that first image that I showed you was set to 0, obviously, and I'm going from one extreme under to over. I wanted to show you the looks when this is blasted one way or the other, just so you can see what it does at the full effect at f1.8. The unique part of this is you have those 4 over and 6 under stops. That could be reversed. Like, this is all the way blasted and you can see how much of an effect it gives. But I can dial that back. But at f1.8 versus f2 versus f2.8, I'm going to get different effects, even though I'm set at maybe 2 under or 2 over. Now I put in my aperture into play, and it's going to change that effect even more. Not make it, heavier, but make it a little bit lighter, and you get to control exactly the look that you like, which honestly, for playtime, that gives this lens so much worth. I love going out and playing with lenses. I honestly do. And I'm going to play with this lens a lot because as I'm dialing it in, and, again, I'm shooting in the environment, and I'm going to shoot in every environment possible, backlit, front lit. I just want to show you what the lens can do. And I didn't record where I was at for every one because that is too much of a pain in the ass for me and really won't do you any good, because you're going to be able to dial in what you like and what works for you. The only way you can do that is play with the lens yourself, honestly, because I can't say, this is the perfect look, because it may not be perfect for you. Maybe you want that full blasted look like this. But if I took this and then stopped down to maybe f2, it's going to change that look. And the only way to decide if this lens for you, well, I should rephrase that. The only way to decide what look you like is by using the lens yourself and creating your own. This is the perfect scenario for a backlit image. I should be at 2 stops over and at f2, and that's the look that I love. That's the character that I want. I know I'm rambling a little bit here. I obviously don't work, obviously never work on a script when I'm doing these videos. But with this type lens, really, I can't write a script on it because it is so unique in all the different settings you can create with it. And these different settings are going to be up to you to make this lens your own and to make it the perfect character that you like. The Voigtlander lenses are built so well, and I hate the term built like a tank. When you pull a Voigtlander lens out of the box, now this is a full frame Sony E mount. And, it's obviously bigger than the regular Voigtlanders for like M mount. It's bigger. It's, a little bit heavier than those, but you can just feel the quality when you pull it out of the box. It's just incredible. And using the lens on the camera, I'm using it on a crop sensor, and I had no issue with this. I love the feel of it, even on this Sony 6400. I love the feel of this lens. It's just incredible. It was easy to autofocus or manual focus as well. There is no autofocus, by the way. That out of the way, I have to send this lens back. He just let me borrow it by my request on his. I do not make any money, no affiliate money, nothing. I'm just going to tell you to shop CameraQuest. Look for CameraQuest. Steven is so easy to deal with, and such, like, that's the only place I'll buy a Voigtlander lens from, because his customer service is fantastic. His no questions asked return policy is fantastic. Um, Even if I buy a lens and I go, this lens really isn't for me, if I didn't destroy the lens in any way, he'll take it back and, give me my money back or offer me a different lens. It's just, easy to deal with. And I just wanted to put that out there because I have appreciated him for many, many, many years, and always buy my Voigtlander lenses from him for a reason. And he has used lenses on there that are absolute mint, and believe me, when he says they're mint, they're mint. And, you know, at a really good discount a lot of the time. So definitely check that out. It's cameraquest.com or shop.cameraquest.com, I believe, but, you can search for that. Now, again, I'm trying the different scenarios, different, areas of the building, and you can see the looks, the backdrop, the fall off on her, the effect that it gives you. It is a sharp lens wide open, but it is a portrait sharp lens versus a clinically sharp lens. And I want to explain this because for me, a clinically sharp lens is fantastic. I love them just like the next guy. But you love them until you pull up a portrait on your screen and go, oh, wow. There's just everything there. And if you don't soften the skin, you have an issue. And a lot of people say, I'd rather that clinically sharp lens and let me control it. But you can't render skin the way a portrait sharp lens can render skin in post-production. This lens gives me detail, sharp detail on the look at. I have to show you this because here it is. You can see the details, you can see it, the sharpness, but the skin, it is sharp, but it's rendered beautifully. And that's a portrait sharp lens. That's what I mean by that. Not clinically sharp. Now I'm going to dial in just a little effect, one stop, and I'm going to zoom in on this again so you can see this. This is the type of look that I love at a camera. This is stunning to me. This is what I'm looking for in a portrait lens. Now, being able to, oh, oh, by the way, here's some studio shots. And again, I wanted to show you because it's just a white backdrop. And this is where I use that Canon 100, the RF 100 SA lens. And that's why I think I didn't give it a fair shake, because I only used it in the studio, which, after using this Voigtlander one in the environment, it's a totally different animal. And, studio is not going to give you the effect and the full degree of what this lens can do. So I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, so, Voigtlander lenses to me are all jewels. And, this one's no different. It's just a beautiful feeling lens. It works, it's smooth. It's all that stuff that everybody says. But they're just quality lenses, and you're going to have them for generations, not years, because they really are that well built, that well made, and just a spectacular product. This was my final, shoot with her. This was for her. The rest of these images were for me. But I just wanted to show the effect outside. I didn't like this one that was all the way, but I dialed it back just a little bit. And, the look is there, the character is there again, but it's your choice on how much character you get with this lens. And getting this lens and going out and using it, I don't want to say practicing with it because there's no practice involved. It's just using it and dialing it in to your exact favorite look. That's what makes this lens so great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this shoot. I I highly recommend this lens to anybody who likes character and who needs a portrait lens that's portrait sharp. Thanks for watching as always. If you have any questions, leave them below.